Hey everybody, and welcome to Capricorn season. We've been here a little while. I'm a little late. Apologies, but such is life. So Capricorn season, we're going to talk about Capricorn, the archetype. We're going to talk about Capricorn's ruling planet, which is Saturn. And we're going to talk about the herbs that support us during this cold season of change. So beautiful. Please look in your birth chart to see where you have Capricorn, if you have a placement in Capricorn, if you have one of your personal planets in Capricorn. Everybody has Capricorn somewhere in their wheel, right? Some house it falls under, and that is how you'll know how this season is going to affect you the most. Okay? So Capricorn is the sea goat. That is the animal associated with this sign. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's the last earth sign in our zodiac year, astrological year. Capricorn is masculine, a masculine sign. It is the polarity of Cancer, which is the mother and feminine sign, where we have Capricorn being way more of a patriarchal type of energy, a grandfather kind of energy, a father type of energy. So beautiful. Capricorn people are pretty incredible because they have such strong characteristics that they walk this life with, such as being really hard workers. You might not ever find a more hard worker than a Capricorn. Taurus is there as well, but man, Capricorns, they really know how to work hard, and it's because they're so self-disciplined. It's one of the reasons. They are incredible masters of their own work and their own world in that they know how to focus. They usually know what they want. And that's the whole archetype of the sea goat that comes out of the sea and climbs the mountain, but slowly and steadily, and one hoof or fin in front of the other to reach that goal. So they're very disciplined people. They're very determined people, and they exhibit a lot of self-control, right? And again, this is the archetype. If you're a Capricorn, you're like, oh, that's not really me, then, that shows the places in which your other astrological energies are coming into place, right? So we also see Capricorns as being very trustworthy, right? They're steadfast, they're trustworthy, they're very accountable. They hold themselves very accountable. They can be very traditional, in that they might not be willing to go out of the box that much. It's like, nope, this is what I'm safe with. This is what I'm going to do. And I like to follow that tradition. So that's Capricorn, and ruled by planet Saturn. And Saturn is our planet of structure. Thank goodness for Saturn, especially for an air sign like me, my Aquarius nature, because we need that structure in life, right? So it's like, how can we figure out when our lives are too structured as opposed to when they need more structure? So Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, Saturn is like I always think of Saturn as your grandfather or your father who wants to give you that tough love, who's just like tough love. Hard lessons, but it's going to make you stronger, and it's going to get you to be more accountable. It's going to get you to be more responsible. It's going to get you to understand and be empowered to accept that responsibility and that accountability. So sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it sucks, and sometimes Saturn's here to be like, no, you're not doing that because that's not for your highest good. I'm going to reroute this part of your life so that you do get on track and you are aligned, right? He's also the master of time. So scheduling, right? And order and those types of things. So Saturn can be tough, but in the end, Saturn is amazing because he wants us to evolve. He wants to see us succeed, right? Success, Capricorn, reach that goal, determination. Great. So how does this show up with herbs? So Capricorn happening around the winter solstice, right? The shortest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. So cold. It's dark, it's cold, and we have Saturn here. So 4 herbs I want to talk about. One is comfrey, symphytum. Comfrey is a hell of a plant. Comfrey is also known as bone set. And the reason why comfrey is under the dominion of Saturn and therefore Capricorn is because comfrey heals our bones, right? Our very structure that our flesh resides in, right? We need strong, healthy bones in order to walk this life, right? So bone set, comfrey, is an amazing ally to strengthen our bones and keep our bones healthy in our joints, but also literally when we break a bone, if we break a bone and we work with comfrey correctly through like infusions, through poultices, we can literally heal our bone with comfrey because of the rate in which comfrey has our cells multiply and grow. It has the ability to move those bones back together. Legit. It's amazing. So comfrey is definitely one of those plants that helps us with these Capricornicus themes. Comfrey, what else? Oats. Oats. Why oats? Because Capricorns need that, need softening, need nutritious, nourishing herbs, because the constitution of a Capricorn can tend to be cold and rigid. So we need those like nourishing herbs like oats, which is just, especially milky oats, right? The tops of the oats, because they nourish our nervous system at such a deep level, as well as our skin and our mucosal membranes, and they just bring this beautiful energetic softening to our beings. So I want to highlight oats here, whether that's oatmeal or you're taking oat baths, or you're making, an oat mask for your face, or working with milky oat tincture or oat straw, right? It's just like another food grade, super nutritious herb. And then I want to talk about horsetail. Has anybody worked with horsetail? Anybody seen horsetail? Horsetail is all over the Catskill Mountains. From the mountaintop where I grew up, she grows about this tall. That's it. She's a prehistoric plant. She's one of the oldest plants on the planet. She has been around since prehistoric times, and she grows around like creeks and ponds and in the ditches in the side of the road because she likes her feet wet. And in Catskill, where I work, horsetail can grow like this tall, quite big, with a much thicker stem. And the way that the stem the way that the stem grows is you see little rings around the stem that look like joints, which is another doctrine of signature of how horsetail helps us, because horsetail is amazing for our joints and keeping everything lubricated and keeping everything strong and healthy, and keeps away inflammation, and also is loaded with silica, so helps our bones, our teeth, our hair, right? These things that are going through so much wear and tear. So structure, again, horsetail, amazing. You can work with it in tincture. You can harvest the horsetail and make tea. Really, really good. Good for gums, oral health, everything. Excellent. And the last herb that I want to talk about is mullein. Mullein is a guardian herb of Capricorn, ruled by Saturn as well. And mullein has been so helpful, especially this cold season, with people who have been reaching out to me with really gnarly chest colds, where our lungs are full of phlegm and it usually happens around this time, this Capricorn season, around the winter solstice. It's like that really beginning of when winter's getting really cold. And so mullein is an incredible anti-inflammatory. Mullein comes in and works with our lungs, and it's full of mucilage. Any plant that's full of mucilage, which is that soft, silky substance that coats the mucosal membranes, coats our lungs, so that they can heal when they've been inflamed from an infection or a cold. And so they protect against that mucose helps protect against inflammation and coats our lungs and coats our gut to heal. And also mullein is an expectorant, which means that mullein helps get the phlegm up and out, which is what we want, right? We don't want any fluid in our lungs. So it helps heal the lungs, helps get the fluid out, and protects us against that further infection. So again, I've used mullein so much this winter. I've gifted and sold mullein all over the place because she works amazingly. So yeah, comfrey, oats, horsetail, mullein, the 4 herbs that I want to highlight for this Capricorn season. There are other herbs that fall under the dominion, but those are the 4 ones that I wanted to talk about. And I hope you have a great, cold, restorative, hibernative, if necessary, Capricorn season, and many, many blessings on this new year ahead.